Are you playing catch up in your mini leagues? If the answer is yes, this video is for you. Top 3 transfers for game week 36. I've got 3 incredible players, all capable of propelling you up those mini leagues, so you take that #1 spot. Game week 37 is a double. I've got a graphic that illustrates the players and teams you need to target, so again, you finish the season on a high. If this sounds good to you, do me a favor, drop a like, subscribe, and share the video. Now you've done that, let's get into it. The first player I'm going to look at for game week 36 is Kai Havertz. Loads of us wildcarded him out last week, but guess what? If we're playing aggressive and we've got nothing else to fix in our team, he's the perfect player. Bring him in this week and you can either keep him or you sell him in game week 37 for a double game week player. It's up to you. But the reason I mention him, you just have to watch his performance against Spurs this weekend. Incredible. He's grown and grown in confidence. Arteta clearly loves him. You can tell by the minutes. He either plays up front or in midfield. Now, with that midfield looks much more solid with Partey, Odegaard and Rice. It just looks like ridiculous. It's probably going to give Kai Havertz the confidence to finish the season even stronger. When you look at the fixtures, Bournemouth at home. Arsenal are formidable away and at home. At the Emirates, they're another animal. Then they've got Manchester United away, as I said, if you do plan to keep him, and then they finish with Everton at home. They're going to win all 3 games as far as I'm concerned. Arsenal's form, just have a look at it. They've only lost 1 in the last 5, and then double digits from Kai Havertz. He's had 3 from the last 5 games. So he's actually hauling. As I said, he's captain material. 12 goals, 8 assists, and when you consider he had a really slow start to his Arsenal career, and then the last 2 statistics, Arsenal are the best attack and the best defense. Like everything is stacked towards buying him for this game week. I think he could be the secret player you bring in that your rivals don't, because they're planning just for 37 and you can make the gains. You could potentially make 15-point, 20-point gain just by bringing him in. The second player we're going to look at is Kevin De Bruyne, the midfield maestro himself. He's a sneaky player. He always happens to turn up come end of the season, especially when Manchester City need him. It's like they put the bat sign up and he just sees it and turns up. If you saw him against Nottingham Forest, incredible performance, so calm, so dangerous in the box. As soon as he looks up, you can tell he's going to feed someone a through ball, and he did. Already this season, even with his poor minutes, I saw the statistic, he's got the most assists in all competitions. That's crazy. That's absolutely ridiculous. It tells you what he's capable of, and now he's looking fit. You could argue he's fully rested as he's hardly played any minutes this season. I think he's going to play the majority of the minutes for the remainder of the season, and I think I see City winning all of those games. Sorry, Arsenal fans. He's also got a double in game week 37, so unlike Kai Havertz, you don't have to sell him. You can keep him for the remainder of the season. So that's another big tick alongside Kevin De Bruyne. The form, you're going to laugh when you look at that. They've just won the last 5 games. There you go, typical City. Kevin De Bruyne's last 5 games, he returned 2 double-digit returns, and he's had 3 returns from the 5, so it's pretty good consistency. Only negative I can think of with De Bruyne is the cost. It's quite costly, 10.5, but also space in midfield. We've packed out our midfield with gems and it's hard to make space, especially if you've already got free City. It's a difficult move, but if you do have space and you want to play aggressive and you want those gains in the mini leagues, definitely consider him. And the third player we're going to look at is Saka, Mr. Starboy himself. Hopefully you saw his performance against Spurs, took that goal beautifully, growing in stature every game I watch him. Why am I recommending another Arsenal player? It's a simple fact, it's Bournemouth at the Emirates. Arsenal are so strong at home. I already told you earlier on they've scored the most goals, conceded the least goals, and at home I don't see them losing. In fact, I see them scoring 3 or 4 goals, and this is the reason for us to take advantage of this. Unlike Kai Havertz, Saka is still highly owned, but if you don't own him, loads of us took him out on the wildcard 35. We could play the same game. Bring him in for this week, hopefully get those points, and then take him out for a double in 37. Or if you want, you can keep him. You've seen the way United are defending at the moment. I already explained earlier on, the fixtures are gorgeous. It's Bournemouth at home, Manchester United away, Everton at home. The form, they've only lost 1 in the last 5. Last 5 games for Saka, he's got 2 double-digit returns and he's returned 3 of the 5, which means he's consistent. He's got 15 goals, 12 assists. He's the second overall scorer in FPL. Only Ollie Watkins has more points than him, and he's averaging 6.5 points per game. Again, consistency. Let's add he takes set pieces and penalties. Perfect FPL player. Only negative, as I said, he doesn't double in 37, but you can swap him out for a doubler. If your team's already sorted for game week 36 and you want to start planning for 37, having as much doublers as possible, especially if you're going to be using your chip, the bench boost, then this next section is for you. In this section, we're going to look at the teams that are doubling, the fixtures they've got, and the players we want to target. So let's start with Manchester City. First and foremost, they've got Fulham away, Tottenham away. I see them winning both games. The players we want to target, the obvious one, Haaland. I put KDB in this video. He's a perfect differential, I think. Not a lot will go for him because he's quite expensive, but I really like him. Phil Foden's having a great season. If you want some defensive cover, we've got Vardiol, who's actually popping up with goals recently, and Carl Walker. I will throw in Ortega as Ederson's hurt his arm. I'm not sure how long he's out for, but if he's missing the remainder of the season, cheap goalkeeper for you right there. Manchester United are also doubling. Their fixtures are a little bit more difficult. They've got Arsenal at home, Newcastle at home. But we do know Manchester United can turn up for big games at Old Trafford. The players you want to target, Bruno, the captain, penalty taker. He's an easy pick. After that, you've got a couple of defensive options. You've got Onana in goal, you've got Maguire, you've got Dalot, or you could go with the young boy who's having a great season, Garnacho. Chelsea's double actually looks pretty good. Nottingham Forest away, Brighton away. I really fancy those fixtures for the attackers, and that's where we're going to start. Cole Palmer. Of course, you got to have him. If you don't own him, you make sure you own him, especially for game week 37. After that, if you can manage your blood pressure, it's Nicholas Jackson. I do actually fancy him getting something in one of these fixtures. Two defensive players I'm going to recommend from Chelsea is either Gusto or Petrovic, the goalkeeper. Of course, Gusto, we need to make sure he's actually fit. And last but not least, is between Gallagher or Maduaku. It depends if you actually fancy going there. Newcastle have Brighton at home, Manchester United away. Both teams who are struggling to defend at the moment. So let's start with a Newcastle attacker, Gordon. Having a great season, taking set pieces, scoring goals from open play. Definitely going to be in my team. Alexander Isak, he's 100% locked in. Looks like he's going to score in every game. We just need him to stay fit. So after those two attackers, I'm looking for some defensive cover. Fabian Schär was my first choice. He looks like he's picked up a slight knock in the last game, so keep an eye on that. Trippier would be the dream, but I'm not sure he's going to be fit, unfortunately. And last but not least, some cheap cover is Dan Burn. Very unlikely to get an attack in return, but let's hope we can get some clean sheets. Spurs have Burnley at home, Manchester City away. A very difficult second fixture, but the players I'm recommending, Son, of course, the captain, penalty taker. After that, Vicario, who's been pretty good in goal this season. Richarlison hopefully is going to be fit just at the right time for this double. He played minutes against Arsenal, so let's hope he's going to be starting 37 because he'll be a perfect differential. For defensive cover, we've got Pedro Porro. It's the only one I would consider. And last but not least, I've got Brennan Johnson, who did lose his starting position against Arsenal, which I found strange because before then he was playing really well. Brighton have Newcastle away and Chelsea at home. The fixtures are okay, but unfortunately Brighton are struggling at the moment, so I wouldn't personally go there, but I'll put in a couple of players just in case if you do fancy getting a couple of Brighton for game week 37. I've got Welbeck and Pedro for the attack. I've got Gross from midfield, and I've got Dunk. So it's up to you if you do fancy going Brighton. They're the players I would recommend. I hope you enjoyed the video, but more importantly, I hope you found the video useful. Get in the comments and let me know who you're bringing in for game week 36, or whether you're rolling, or if you agree with my moves. I'll reply to all my comments. Now, before you jump off to your next video, do me a favor, drop a like, subscribe and share the video. I'd really appreciate that. I'm trying my best to reach the next milestone, and I can only do that with your help. Last thing to say, good luck, and I'll see you in my next video.